I'm back at it once again this year with my All-NBA team selections, first, second, and third. Let me start off by saying the way I judge my criteria is individual performance and team performance as well. I have those hand in hand, maybe 50-50. So if a player's putting up tremendous numbers, but his team is not really winning, they're not in the playoff picture, or they're just at the bottom of their conference, that's not going to hold up too well against somebody who I pick who may not be doing as good, but he's still putting up pretty decent numbers and their team is at the top, maybe first or second in the East or the West, and vice versa. If your team is doing really good but the numbers aren't really showing it, or you're not standing out on your team as a star, then said person will not make this list of mine. I also got to point out some names that are either not going to make it because of the 65 game rule, or they may just miss it depending on how long they take to come back from their injuries, or if the team is going to rest their players. What I mean is LeBron James, Domantas Sabonis, Jalen Brunson, they're all hovering around 60 games played as I make this, but I believe they're dealing with some injuries. I don't know when they're going to come back. I'll pencil them in for now in this video. But when the All-NBA teams are officially announced from the actual NBA, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe one of them didn't make it because of that rule. Other names who are not going to make it whatsoever: Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, John Morant, Anthony Davis, Paolo Banchero, Victor Wembanyama, all have been hit with some serious injuries. And it's kind of unfortunate because these names all would have been in contention if they were healthy, especially if you compare it to last year's All-NBA teams that were officially announced. Without further ado, let me start off with the All-NBA third team, and then I'll slowly make my way up. Of course, it's 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center, I believe, or front court, as they do, front court, back court. At this point, it seems like they should just get rid of positions, but that may be a whole nother video in itself. All right, I got Damian Lillard as my point guard for the All-NBA third team or backcourt. He's still doing great, still putting up superstar numbers. The Bucks are in the playoffs. I don't see why Dame should be left off any of these teams. In the other backcourt slot, I got Stephen Curry. This is where it got a little bit tricky for me because it was really between him and Trae Young. Trae Young's numbers averaging 24, 11, those are elite numbers. But his team, although they're in the playoffs, they're a little bit under the 500 mark. Whereas with Steph Curry, the numbers don't exactly match up, particularly with the assists. But Golden State is doing really well in a tougher conference in the 6th seed, and they're about 9-10 games above 500, so I just edged it out to Steph Curry because of that. Next up, I got Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder, easily the second best player right behind Gilgeous-Alexander. He's a main component as to why OKC is number 1 in the West. A first-time All-Star this year, two-way player who will probably make an All-NBA defensive team as well. He deserves to be on this list in my opinion. And moving along, Domantas Sabonis does too. I have him right here. He's leading the league in rebounds per game at almost 14. When's the last time you saw somebody do that? Let alone get 13. You may see 11 to 12. Just incredible. He's also shooting 60% from the field and giving you almost 20 points per game, chipping in 6 assists. The only reason why he's not higher on like a second NBA team for me, or maybe even the first, is because the Kings are hovering around the 500 mark. But outside of that, Sabonis definitely got to be here. For the final spot on my All-NBA third team, I got Alperen Sengun. Yes, I'm picking a center for each one of these teams. I'm not just going to put 3 small forwards or 3 power forwards in the front court just because it fits. But I challenge anyone to find me numerous people that believe that the Houston Rockets would be second in the West towards the end of the season. Alperen Sengun's giving you about 20, 10, and 5. Clearly, the main drive as to why the Rockets are doing as great as they are right now. I got him on here too. All right, let's get to the All-NBA second team. In the backcourt, I'm going to start off with Jalen Brunson. Yeah, he's having another All-Star caliber season. He got the Knicks in third in the East, giving you 26 points, 7 assists. I don't know how you could not have him on any of these teams. But again, he's dealing with an injury. I don't know if Tom Thibodeau is going to shut him down for the rest of the year until the playoffs start, or is he going to come back and play a few more games? I think he's around 58, 59 games played. You need to have at least 65 games, as we know, in order to make our All-NBA team or even be eligible for any of the teams or awards, period, that the NBA has. We'll see. If Jalen Brunson doesn't qualify, then I'd probably give that spot to Trae Young. The Hawks, despite the record, they are still in the playoff hunt within the East. Trae Young is leading the league in assists per game, still giving you 24 points per game. On top of that, I would put him there, okay, if Jalen Brunson doesn't end up making it. The backcourt other player that I would put for this team is Anthony Edwards. He's still having another spectacular season. Personally, I think he could tone down on the three-point attempts a little bit and get back to the mid-range, but nonetheless, putting all that aside, he's still playing great. The Timberwolves have caught their stride and they've been on a winning streak that happened towards just the end of the season. Before that, they were kind of falling down the standings and looked like they were still trying to figure out how they would work with Julius Randle. Now it seems they know what they're doing. All right, the next person for this list would be Kevin Durant. This is where it gets a bit tricky because as you keep looking at the players available and who you could really decide, there's not many who have the numbers that Kevin Durant has, the game, the skill, and the ability, despite the Phoenix Suns struggling. So it gets to a point where, okay, are you going to just pick a random player who happens to be on a good team and is giving you 12, 13 points per game, or it's just like a role player in general? And I'm pretty sure almost anybody wouldn't go that far. So it kind of feels like Kevin Durant is just up here by default because of his amazing ability. However, the more I think about it, I had Jalen Williams on my All-NBA 13. If somebody wanted to make the argument that due to the OKC Thunder's success, Jalen Williams should be higher than even Kevin Durant, I don't think that is a wild statement or opinion to take. Y'all can let me know in the comment section. LeBron James is who I have next up on this All-NBA list. Look, you can say what you want about the King. He's still giving you 25, 8 and 8. His numbers are still up like he's in his prime. I did a video saying that he should get considered for MVP as well, given the fact that the Lakers are doing so well, whether it's Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, and how people were talking about the Lakers still needed to make roster changes. Well, it hasn't affected their season and them doing good. For the final spot on this All-NBA second team, I got Karl Anthony Towns. I heard just recently Anthony Edwards, and I covered this, him saying that Karl Anthony Towns was the best player in the East. That should tell you alone what type of season that he's having. I've already gone over the Knicks' place in the standings, all right, and that closes out the second team. The All-NBA first team, this is the one that everyone been waiting for. Without further ado, I think this is the most obvious pick, or there's a second one that you probably know that is coming. The first would be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's probably going to win MVP. Do I need to really go into why Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is on an All-NBA first team, leading the league in points per game? He's up there in steals per game as well. This is just self-explanatory, all right? In the backcourt, here's one that may be a little bit of a hot take. I got Cade Cunningham. Yeah, look at the numbers, man. 25 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. The Pistons are a few games above the 500 mark. They are going to make the playoffs after winning just 14 games the season before. And they didn't do any drastic changes to the roster. They added Tobias Harris, some pieces here and there. But really, this is Cade Cunningham cruising this ship and making the Pistons look like a solid team. I got him here on the All-NBA first. Let me know if you agree or you disagree. Jason Tatum is who I got next. This is another obvious one that I should have mentioned. One of the three players. You probably know the other one that's coming that I keep alluding to. Jason Tatum, however, is having a great season. The Celtics are second in the East, just behind the Cavs. He should be in the MVP conversation a lot more. I don't know why his name is not mentioned. If you got Shea number 1, Nikola number 2, shouldn't Tatum be number 3? Or could an argument be made that he's number 2 or even the first one? Either way, he's on the All-NBA first team. There's no way that you can leave him off, which gets me into another player that you cannot leave off no matter what. As a matter of fact, this whole team is full of obvious picks, man. I should have just said that from the beginning. Who am I talking about? Giannis Antetokounmpo. Doc Rivers said that Giannis wasn't getting enough credit for the season that he was having and said that it was like he was forgotten. Giannis will not be forgotten. He will be on an All-NBA team, whether it's my list or the official NBA one that they're going to put out. I think he should also make an all-defensive team list as well. The Milwaukee Bucks are second in opponents' field goal percentage the last time I checked, which was just about a few days ago. Last but not least, yes, you know who I have. Nikola Jokic at center, averaging a triple-double. What more do I gotta say? Y'all let me know in the comment section what you think about my list. All-NBA third, the second, the first. Did I leave anybody off? Did I get the positions wrong? Or did I get some of the names, switched around? Would you change this guy, put him on the second team, the first, or vice versa? Whatever the case is, I would love to hear your opinion and your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. And as always, salute for listening. Peace. And I'll leave on the screen right now at the end the All-NBA teams from last year so you can kind of see what was going on, and then I'll put mine beside it, all right?